Once upon a time, in a cozy little house nestled at the edge of a snowy forest, lived a family of 4: Jess, Tom, their cheerful mom Emily, and their funny dad John. Each year, they wait for Christmas period with big excitement, yet nothing was more special than the arrival of their beloved elf on the shelf named Sprinkle. Sprinkle was a little elf with twinkling eyes and a leaf-shaped ears. As soon as he arrived, he brought joy and happiness. Every night, he would zoom around the house, spreading cheer and watching over the children as they dreamed of sugar plums. One cold December night, as the moonlight danced on the snow outside, Sprinkle couldn't contain his excitement. Tonight, he will be going on a great adventure. With a little sprinkle of his fairy dust, he leaped off the shelf and started exploring. First, he played hide-and-seek with the cuddly animals, and then swung from the chandelier like a tiny acrobat. In his flurry of joy, he suddenly spotted something shining at the top of the kitchen counter: the cookie jar. It was filled with the brightest, yummiest cookies, baked by Jessica and Tom to leave for Santa. "Oh, those look delicious," Sprinkle whispered. He flew over to the jar and gave it a little poke. But oh dear, the jar wobbled, and before he could catch it, it swung and fell with a great crash. Cookies went flying everywhere, and Sprinkle gasped as he watched the delicious treats crumble and scatter across the floor. Heart sinking, he felt a wave of guilt wash over him. How could he face Jessica and Tom in the morning, knowing he had ruined their special treats for Santa? Sprinkle decided to make things right. He nudged the broken cookie jar back into place and flew to their kitchen drawer. There, he found some baking tools, a rolling pin, measuring cups, and cookie cutters shaped like stars, bells, and Christmas trees. He then grabbed a paper note and wrote a sweet little recipe for cookies. "Dear Jessica and Tom," he wrote in wobbly letters, "I'm so sorry I knocked over the cookie jar. Please make new cookies for Santa. Your teamwork and love will make them extra special. Love, Sprinkle." With a smile on his face, he placed the baking tools and recipe note on the table, ready for them to find in the morning. Then, with all his elf magic, he hopped back to his spot on the shelf just as the first rays of morning light crept through the window. When Jessica and Tom rushed into the kitchen, they gasped at the sight. "Look," shouted Jessica, pointing to the table. "It's our elf, and he left us baking tools." Tom read the recipe aloud. "Sprinkle wants us to make cookies for Santa. Let's do it." The siblings cheered and started to get the ingredients: flour, sugar, butter, sprinkles, and their special chocolate chips. They took turns rolling the dough, cutting out fun shapes, and decorating each one with colorful sprinkles. Mom and Dad even joined in, making silly faces with the cookie dough and pretending to be cookie monsters. "How messy we are," giggled Jessica, as she sprinkled a handful of flour over Tom's head. "Santa will love these," replied Tom, sticking his tongue out and catching a falling sprinkle. After what felt like hours of merry baking, the smell of warm cookies filled the house. The golden treats baked to perfection, and soon they were cooling on the counter, looking and smelling delicious. On Christmas morning, the family rushed to check under the Christmas tree, and hearts filled with excitement. There were lots of presents, and tucked among them was a sparkling envelope addressed to Sprinkle. It was from Santa. With a great excitement, they opened the note. "Dear Jessica and Tom, Thank you for the delightful cookies. They were the best I've ever tasted. How wonderful it is to see a family working together in such joyful harmony. Keep spreading the love. Merry Christmas. Love, Santa. Jessica and Tom squealed with happiness. They danced around the living room, praising Sprinkle for his amazing idea. But Sprinkle just sat on his shelf, smiling with a twinkle in his eye. He knew the true magic of Christmas wasn't just the cookies or the gifts. It was the joyful moments spent together, the laughter, and the love shared in their cozy little home. And from that Christmas on, whenever the cookie jar was on the counter, everyone remembered Sprinkle's magic recipe, and a tale to tell for many Christmases to come.